Can you see the screen properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, just as a recap,
Yes,
what we
ma'am.
have ও তো যা দেখছি যে এতক্ষণ পরে যদি আনসার দেয় ওকে আমি একটা কিছু বলবো ওটা শেষ হয়ে যাবে তারপর বলবো ইয়েস ম্যাম আমি লাইক ইয়েস বাট হোয়াট আর ইউ টকিং
Internet
অ্যাবাউট
Explorer use করেন নাকি ম্যাম?
এনিওয়ে
এই ভাই তোমাদের কথা এখনো শেষ হয় নাই।
আচ্ছা শোনো আমরা এখন একটু সিরিয়াসলি পড়াশোনা করি এন্ড রেকর্ডিং স্টার্ট হয়ে গেছে সো উই শুড বি সিরিয়াস সো last time in the last class what we have seen and I think you guys already studied about it so I'm not gonna go into details anymore so we're just gonna see a recap so last class we have seen two-dimensional coordinate system or Cartesian coordinate system then we also have seen how to allocate points there say if we have one point P1 with x1 y1 as a coordinate and another point P2 with x2, y2 as a coordinate. We know how to allocate the point as well as we know how to find the distance between them. So the formula we use there is d equal to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So if you know any 2 points, if you know coordinate of any 2 points, you can just apply this formula to find their distance. Then we have seen if the points are horizontal, P1, P2, then you see their y values are same. So this part will go to 0. So here d is gonna be just x2 minus x1. And of course we have to have the absolute value sign because distance is gonna be always positive. And if we have a vertical line, so any 2 points on top of that, P1 and P2, P1 and P2, you see the x values for P1 and P2 are the same. So this part will go to 0 and we will have d equal to only absolute value of y2 minus y1. And lastly, we have seen, so if we know 2 points and if we join them, we get a line segment. And if I want to know the midpoint of this line segment, formula we used is m equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2 comma y1 plus y2 divided by 2. These are the formulas we have learned in our last class and I assume you guys don't have any problem there. So it's a recap of lecture 2. So now we are gonna start lecture 3. So today what we are gonna learn is how to draw a graph of equation in 2 variables. So what does it mean? That say if we have equation say y equal to 2x plus 5, you know we have 2 variables here, one is x and another is y. So we're gonna see how to draw the graph of it using values of x and y. The easiest way and what you have already know from before that if you pick some values of x, you're gonna get values in y. For example, if you put x equal to 0, can you tell me what should be y?
5, ma'am.
5.
5, ma'am.
What if x equal to 1?
5, ma'am.
5 ma'am.
7.
7.
7.
7.
Minus 1?
3, ma'am.
3.
3 ma'am.
Plus
3. Positive 2?
9.
9.
9.
9 ma'am. 9. Negative 2?
1.
1.
So now you see that we got some coordinates here which are 0, 5, 1, 7, like we got some ordered pairs. Minus 1, 3, 2, 9 and minus 2, 1. And we have learned from the last lecture that the first value of each order pair is called x value and the second one is y value.
Y value.
Exactly. So now if we want to allocate the point, So 0,5, say this one, 0,5, 1,7, so it's somewhere here, 1,7, minus 1,3, so say minus 1,3, 2,9, so 2,9 টা পরে দেখি, minus 2,1, so minus 2,1 here. So just join them. Neat number, বেশি উপরে উঠে গেছে। So এই পয়েন্টটা এখানে। So this is 0,5, this one was 1,7. We have another one here which is 2,9. This one was minus 1,3 and this one was minus 2,1. So you see, by using some values of x and y, we can draw the graph of this equation. And what does it tell us? It tells me basically the relationship. Whenever we draw any graph of equation of two variables, that also represents how their variables are related. And the relation here between x and y is linear. You know, like you can see a linear line or a straight line. So if you increase x, the value of y is like the value of y also increase in linear way. It's not like that. That say we have y equal to x squared. It's not a linear relationship because I mean
It's an
x equal to
exponential
increase,
relationship.
it's exponential kind of like the power, not exponential. It's like power rule. It's called power function. So এটা স্কয়ারলি হচ্ছে তোমার ইনক্রিজ করবে, এক্সপোনেনশিয়াল হলে এটা y equal to e to the power x. So they are related to exponential. So this one is linear relationship. So moral of the story, the graph of a function is important to know how to draw it, or equation how to draw it, because we want to visualize. We want to visualize what basically the equation is telling us. যে আমরা ব্লাইন্ডলি বিশ্বাস করার থেকে আমরা নিজের চোখে দেখে বিশ্বাস করতে যাচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে তুমি বলছো লিনিয়ার রিলেশনশিপ আছে, বাট আই ওয়ান্ট টু সি যে আসলে লিনিয়ার রিলেশনশিপ আছে কিনা। That's why we need to know how to draw it. But the point is, look, in order to draw it, if we want to draw it in this ordinary way, we need to take bunch of points. Like আমরা জানি না যে আসলে এক্স্যাক্টলি কতগুলো পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে সাফিসিয়েন্ট। এখানে জানি
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Okay,
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. So we don't know how many points are sufficient, and it takes bunch of time. You know, like you pick points and then you calculate value of y in positive x, negative x. So it takes a lot of time. But you know, we guys are smart, right? So we wanna solve it in a smart way, and that's how we pick two techniques. One is called intercept, and another is called symmetry. And that's what we are going to learn today in this lecture. আজকে লেকচারে আমরা দেখব কিভাবে ইন্টারসেপ্ট ফাইন্ড আউট করতে হয়, কিভাবে সিমেট্রি টেস্ট করতে হয়, and how these two knowledge or these two techniques help us to reduce the time while we draw the graph. So আমরা একটু দেখি what's in the lecture. First we are going to learn intercept, and then second we are going to learn symmetry. Okay, one more thing I should tell you. Let's go back there. Okay, so it's written here that graph play an important role, as I said, in helping us to visualize the relationship that exists between two variables. So I already mentioned that. But here we have an example that, for example, the demand curve represents the relationship between the price and the demand of the quantity. Meaning, say our y-axis represents price, and x-axis represent quantity of a product. Now when the price is high, say 10, the demand curve is the quantity here is 0. Now let the demand of the quantity, that I don't want to buy some stuff with $10. Now say the price falls and it comes to 8, so now it's $8. Then the quantity, the demand of the quantity of the product will increase. So it will be here.
Increase.
Exactly. So now then it drops to here, I don't know, 3. It will even increase more.
Yes, ma'am.
Then if I just join it, that is called demand curve. So you can see that this graph tells us the relationship between the demand, the price of the product and the demand of the quantity I want to buy with that price. So that's how it is important for us to know in our real life and how to draw a graph of any equation or function. Anyway, so now when we draw the graph of it, as we saw that we need to pick some point to draw the graph of it. It doesn't matter whether we find intercept or symmetry. We always need points. So now the question is, if I ask you, okay, I give you this equation, y equal to 2x plus 5, and I give you a random point, say 1,8. Then I will ask you, hey, can you tell me whether this 1,8 point is gonna be on the graph of the equation or not? যে আমি তোমাকে একটা র্যান্ডম একটা পয়েন্ট 118 দিয়ে বললাম যে তুমি কি বলতে পারবা যে এই পয়েন্টটা এই গ্রাফের উপরে আছে কিনা? Then the way you can do it, we have to see whether the point 1,8 satisfy this equation or not. And কিভাবে আমরা এটা প্রমাণ করব? আপনি কিভাবে প্রুফ করব? Remember, the first value is x and the second value is y.
Y.
Set. So we substitute the value of y and x here. And after you do that, if we see the left hand side
Is equal to
right
side.
then we can say yes. Then we can say this point satisfy the
Is
equation. And if it does, then this point is gonna be on the ground. So দেখো এখন যদি আমরা এখানে সাবস্টিটিউট করি, we are gonna have 8, the value of y, equal to 2 plus 5, which will be 8 equal to 7. That's not true. So this point does not satisfy the equation. So this point is not gonna lie on the graph of it. But if I ask you, okay, what about minus 2,1? So minus 2,1. Does it lie on the graph of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It actually satisfies.
Yes,
Minus 2.
Yes, ma'am.
multiplied
Because
by
y equal to 1, and the right hand side we're gonna have minus 4 plus 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can we come back after the answer, please?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Do you mind?
yes,
Yes, ma'am. Just give me a
Sure,
couple of
ma'am.
minutes. Thank you. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you. So now let's see, we have the point 2, 3, and we want to determine whether the point lies on the graph of the equation or not. So as we substitute x equal to 2, which is going to be 2 times 2, so 4, and then y equal to 3. So 4 minus 3. So the left hand side is going to be 1 and the right hand side is 6. So as you can see, 1 is not equal to 6. So the point 2, 3 is not on the graph of the equation. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me 1 to the power minus 2? এটা কি হবে?
4 plus 6. 4 equals to 8 satisfied.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yes. It's gonna be 4 plus 2. So 6 equal to 6.
6 equals
It's
6.
gonna lie on it. Perfect. So that's what is written here. We have exercises here, so you guys can play with them. This one I already drew, like y equal to 2x plus 5. So I'm not gonna show that. Y equal to 2x plus 8 the same way. And y equal to x square. Actually, this page we are gonna come back later, by the end of after the end of the lecture, I should say, because I want to compare it with you that, like, look, with our general knowledge that we will pick some values of x and then we're gonna get y and then we'll draw it. You see, we need a bunch of points. We need a lot of calculations. So after we know how to find intercepts and symmetry, we will come back here and then we'll draw the graph of this function using those information. And then you will see that how easy it is gonna be to draw the graph after that. So we'll come back here. Alright. Before starting the symmetry or intercepts, I want to tell you one thing. Whenever you draw any graph, say for example this one or maybe this one, always remember to put the arrow, because that will tell you that the graph will continue in this pattern. Because এটা তো আমাদের পক্ষে possible না, like it's not possible for us to plot all the points, right? Like minus infinity to infinity. If I don't fix the domain of x or if I don't fix the value of x, যে আমি x এর ভ্যালু কোথা থেকে কোন পর্যন্ত নিতে পারবো, যেটা ফিক্স না করে দেই, then it's not possible for me to cover everything in our page, right? So in that case, we're gonna put this arrow sign, because this arrow sign will tell us, okay, the graph will basically continue like in this pattern. যে এটার পরে এটা কখনো এরকম হয়ে যাবে না, এটা সবসময় এভাবেই চলবে. So that's why it's important for us to put the arrow sign. Sorry. But say for example, for this problem, if I say that x in between minus 5, 10, যে x এর মান -5 থেকে 10 এর মধ্যে হতে হবে. In that case, I'm limiting the domain, right? So you don't need to put arrow sign there. You just fill the circle, fill the point. That tells us the value of x is stopped here, so the value of y or the graph will stop there as well. So that's called limiting the domain or setting the values of x within a certain region. And if we don't have anything like that, then we'll just put the arrow sign to make the graph continue. Is it clear to everyone, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please remember that. Please don't forget it. And when we use this arrow, that is called we are completing the graph. So the arrow basically indicate that the pattern shows the graph will continue. Like যে প্যাটার্নটা গ্রাফে চলছিল সেই প্যাটার্নটাই কন্টিনিউ করবে. Now, one way to obtain a complete graph is to plot a sufficient number of points on the graph until a pattern becomes evident. যে আমরা যদি একটা কমপ্লিট গ্রাফ ড্র করতে চাই, তাহলে যে ওয়েটা হচ্ছে, একটা ওয়ে হচ্ছে যে আমরা অনেকগুলো লাইক সাফিসিয়েন্ট পর্যাপ্ত পরিমাণে আমরা পয়েন্ট গ্রাফে প্লট করব আনটিল ততক্ষণ পর্যন্ত যতক্ষণ না আমাদের কাছে প্যাটার্নটা এভিডেন্ট হচ্ছে। মিনিং হচ্ছে যে আমি মনে করো যে y equal to x square গ্রাফটা ড্র করার জন্য, like in order to draw that, if I just pick this 2 point, I mean I don't know how the pattern will look like. It could be just a straight line, it could be just this, so we don't know. So we need to have sufficient point in order to draw the graph of it, and we have to continue until the pattern becomes evident. The কোন pattern এ হচ্ছে which pattern is going to follow. And then we join these points with a smooth curve following the successive pattern. But the question is, how many points are sufficient? That's what I was talking about, that we don't know how many points we need to use in order to understand the pattern of it. Because you can just keep continue, like you can just going in this way, you can just keep going, so you don't know. I mean, say for example, you just keep going in the positive side, but you don't care about what's happening in the negative side. And if you don't do it, then you won't be able to understand what's the graph of y equal to x squared. And that technique for intercepts and symmetry comes. আমরা যদি জানি what is intercepts and what is symmetry, এই নলেজটা দিয়ে আমরা খুব সহজে বুঝতে পারবো যে আমাদের গ্রাফটা এক্স্যাক্টলি কি প্যাটার্নের হবে, আর সেই প্যাটার্নটাকে এভিডেন্ট করতে হলে আমাদের আসলে কতগুলো পয়েন্ট পিক করলে হচ্ছে। So are you ready, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is very simple, trust me, like very very simple. I mean, নাম নেই শুনে মনে হচ্ছে বাবারে বাবা কি না কি, আসলে কিছু না, খুবই সিম্পল। So intercepts. The first one, intercepts. Whenever we talk about intercepts, it's gonna be either x-intercepts. It tells us x-intercepts and y-intercepts both. Now let's look at the bookish definition. So it says the points, if any, যদি কোনো পয়েন্ট থাকে আমাদের গ্রাফের উপর, at which the graph crosses, mark it, crosses or touches, and or the coordinate axis, then those points are called intercepts. Meaning what? Say we have a graph like this. And remember, this is called x coordinate, this is called y coordinate. A graph to the bunch of points. See, graph to, like in order to draw this graph, we needed to have bunch of points to draw the graph, right? But you see, there are few points on x-axis where the graph basically touched it or crossed it. কিছু পয়েন্ট আছে x-axis এর উপর যেখানে গ্রাফটা x-axis কে টাচ করে গেছে or ক্রস করে গেছে. Now these points are called x-intercepts. Similarly, you see there is one point here on y-axis where the graph crossed it, then this point is called y-intercept. So easy definition হচ্ছে একটা গ্রাফের উপর আমাদের বাঞ্চ অফ পয়েন্টস থাকতে পারে, যে পয়েন্টগুলো বেসিক্যালি আমাদের কোঅর্ডিনেট অ্যাক্সিসকে টাচ করে যাবে বা ক্রস করে যাবে, সেই পয়েন্টগুলোকেই ইন্টারসেপ্ট বলা হয়। নাও when you say x intercept, দেন পয়েন্টগুলো হচ্ছে এক্স অ্যাক্সিসকে টাচ করবে বা ক্রস করবে, আর যখন হচ্ছে এটা ওয়াই ইন্টারসেপ্ট তখন হচ্ছে পয়েন্টটা ওয়াই অ্যাক্সিসকে টাচ করবে আর ক্রস করবে। So that's the basics of intercepts. Now can you tell me what should be the value of y on top of x-axis?
0.
So,
0,
yes.
A, 0.
No, a comma 0. So a could be here any random number, like any real number. So for x-intercept, it could be -1,0, 5,0, 0,0. It could be anything.
7,0.
Exactly, 7,0. So a is any real number. A is not important. The important part is what? For x-intercept, y value is always 0.
0.
So could you tell me what's gonna be for y-intercept then?
0,
0, comma
0,
A or
Yeah. 0, b. B is any real number. So we go back to lecture. আচ্ছা, আমি যেগুলো মুখে বলে যাচ্ছি সেগুলো কি আমার এখান থেকে পড়ে বলতে হবে নাকি আমি জাস্ট স্কিপ?
I think you can skip, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. So that's what is written here, the definition, and this is the graph I just drew. That here the graph crosses x-axis, here the graph touches x-axis, and here the graph crosses y-axis. So if you get it, and if I zoom this, come on, sorry. Sorry, my laptop is still not freezed. Okay. So তোমরা তাহলে আমাকে বলো, like guys, please tell me what are the x intercepts or y intercepts here. So first of all, the x intercept.
Ma'am, the x
Which are the x
intercepts
Minus 3, 3
Minus 3 by 2 and 4.5.
4.5.
Minus 3, 0, about 3 by 0, 4.50.
those are x
Yeah,
intercepts.
right. Those are x intercepts. What about
And
y?
y intercepts are
0, 3,
Three,
minus
0,
3,
minus 4.3, and minus 4.5, minus 3.5.
So these are the x intercepts, and these are the y intercepts. And you see, for y intercepts we have 0 everywhere, and for x intercept we have 0 on the y values. Perfect. So then, what about this one? What about x intercept?
1 and
minus
1.
1 and 1.
minus 1, 0, and 1 and 0.
Minus 1, 0, 0.
Yes.
What about y intercept?
No intercept, ma'am.
No intercepts here, ma'am.
No y intercepts.
No y intercept? Not. Alright, what about here?
Here the minus 3 comma 0 and
Minus
3,
3, 0.
3, 0. দুইটারই
and
same.
0 comma 3,
3, 0. 0, 3,
0 comma minus
0,
3, 0, minus 3.
Very good. These are very smart. So we are done for the intercept. Now this is very easy when we have the graph is given and we can just check it from here. Just always remember that it might also be possible that a equation might not have either of the intercepts. That the x and the y কোনো intercept না থাকতে পারে. It could be also possible. For example, we are gonna see it we are gonna see it today, but very soon. So say now we don't know the graph of it, because the whole idea was to know about intercept, was to draw the graph of it. So what procedures we can follow to find intercept from the equation? Now remember, we said that to find x intercept, we always have the value of y equal to 0. And that's the procedure we are going to follow. That if we want to find x intercept, we have to put y equal to 0 in the given equation, and then we solve for x. So for example, we have y equal to 2x plus 8. And I ask you, okay, find intercepts.
x is equal to minus 4.
Exactly. So x intercepts, we have to put let y equal to 0 in equation 1 and then solve for x. So we put y equal to 0. So 2x plus 8 equal to 0. That gives us x equal to minus 4. So the x intercept is basically minus 4,0. তাহলে বলতো y intercept find out করার জন্য আমাদের কি করতে হবে?
x 0
x এর ভ্যালু 0 বসাতে হবে।
The first equation would be x is equal to 0.
Very good.
8 all for y.
And the value of y will be 8.
8
Exactly. So we're gonna have y equal to 8. So 0,8 is gonna be y.
0,8.
Now look, we have 2 points, minus 4,0 and 0,8. And we're gonna draw the graph for x plus 8. So now I just plug in 0,8 here and minus 4,0. I'm joining it. And that's it. So minus 4,0 and 0,8. But remember, when we drew the graph for 2x plus 5, we had to pick bunch of points to understand how it looks like. But here, we know the intercept and we just join them and we got it. Well, কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকতে পারে যে ম্যাম আমরা কি করে বুঝবো যেটা আসলে সত্যি লিনিয়ার হবে? We are going to see when we are going to study function, then you will also learn what kind of function is this one. And this is called linear function. যখন একটা ফাংশন লিনিয়ার হয় তখন একটা গ্রাফটা একটা স্ট্রেট লাইন। So এই ধরনের কোশ্চেনগুলো তোমরা আরো ক্লিয়ার হবে as we move on. But for now, you can see that just by using intercept or the concept of intercept, how easy it became for us to draw the graph of it. So are we good up to now?
Yes, ma'am.
yes ma'am
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So now we have to find x-intercept or y-intercept of the equation y equal to x squared minus 4. Yes, ma'am. So let's do this one. Y equal to x squared minus 4. I want to draw the graph of it. But before drawing the graph, let's find x-intercept. So তোমরা বলো x-intercept কি হবে? What is gonna be?
2.
2.
2
Minus 2. If I put y equal to 0, I'm gonna have x squared minus 4 equal to 0. So what should be x?
2, ma'am.
2
Plus minus 2.
Plus minus
minus 2
Whenever we have a square and we do a square root, always different plus minus. এটা হচ্ছে কাউকে মার্ডার করলে যেরকম আর ক্ষমা মানে মার্সি পাওয়া যায় না সেরকম একটা অবস্থা যদি আমরা প্লাস মাইনাস সাইন না দিই। ঠিক আছে? It's a big mistake. So always remember to put plus minus sign whenever you do the square root. So it's gonna be x equal to plus minus it's equal to root 4, or you can write x equal to plus minus 2. So the x-intercepts are minus 2,0 and 2,0. What about y-intercept?
minus 4
Minus 4.
Minus 4.
0, minus 4 is the
1 value.
Now if we want to draw the graph of it, so let's see what's gonna happen. So this is 2,0.
So that is minus 2,0.
Right. And here we have 0, minus.
0 minus 4
Now see, this is not sufficient. Like এটা তো একটা triangle হয়ে যেতে পারে. We don't know really how what is gonna be. And now the concept of symmetry comes. আসলে আমরা দেখলাম ইন্টারসেপ্টটা হচ্ছে এনাফ না, আমাদেরকে আরো জানতে হবে is there any other technique we can follow to reduce our time? And the answer is yes, it's gonna be understand concept of symmetry. So we have completed up to here. Then I might graph the draw, like we could pick random point, but I'm not gonna pick random point. I'm gonna show you how symmetry works, and then we're gonna come back to this figure again, and we will see how can I draw this smartly. But before that, can we take let's take 4 minutes of break. Let's start at 5:20, and then last half an hour we will be able to finish this one. Okay?
Okay,
Sure, ma'am.
Start at 5:20.
স্ক্রিনের দিকে তাকাচ্ছি।
স্ক্রিনের দিকে তাকাচ্ছিলা? ও It's so negative. আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে আর চলো আমরা এটা স্টার্টিং করে ফিনিশ তার মাইক্রোফোনে প্রবলেম হচ্ছে তো খেয়াল করো alright so now we're gonna check what is symmetry. So symmetry, it could be three things. Like it could be, let's write it down. Symmetry. So it could be x-axis symmetric. It could be y-axis symmetric. And it could be origin symmetry. So we could have three types of symmetry. And what does it mean by x-axis symmetry?
Y is negative.
Right. Y is gonna be negative. Like whatever graph or whatever pattern of the graph you have above x-axis, you are gonna have the same pattern below x-axis. That tells us if we have any point x comma y here, we're gonna have the same point x comma y but with negative sign in y, because you know above x-axis y is positive but below x-axis y is negative. If that happens, then this is gonna be symmetric above x-axis. For example, if we have x equal to y square, I mean look what's happening here. Like when we wrote that for x-axis symmetry, y is gonna be minus y. So in order to test the symmetry for x-axis, we have to replace y by minus y in the given equation. So আমাদের যে ইকুয়েশনটা দেয়া থাকবে যেটা সিমেট্রি আমরা টেস্ট করব, সেখানে আমরা y কে রিপ্লেস করব minus y দিয়ে. And after we do so, if we get our original equation back, we can say the given equation is going to be symmetric about x-axis. So if I want to check the symmetry of this function with respect to x-axis, I will replace y by minus y. So we will have x equal to minus y whole square. Then we're going to have x equal to y square, because negative square is positive. So you see, we get the original function back, or original equation back. So we can say yes, x equal to y square, this is symmetric about x-axis. And basically this is the graph for x equal to y square, or x equal to y square, we can also write it as y equal to plus minus x. So if you want to draw the graph of it, you know, if you put x equal to 0, it's going to be 0. Or other way, we know how to find the intercept. So we know for this equation, the intercept is going to be just 0, 0. So 0, 0 is 1 point. If we put x equal to 1, we're going to get 1. If we put x equal to 4, we're going to get 2. And we know since this is symmetric about x-axis, so we're going to have the point 1 minus 1 and 4 minus 2. So 1 minus 1 and 4 comma minus 2. Because আমরা জানি x same থাকবে, just y change হয়ে যাবে. Then if we just join it by a smooth curve, then this is gonna be the graph of it. Is it clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ম্যাম আরেকবার বলেন, বুঝতে পারিনি।
Okay. In order to check the x-axis symmetry, again, x-axis symmetry means হচ্ছে x-axis এর above, মানে x-axis এর উপরে গ্রাফের যেমন প্যাটার্ন থাকবে, x-axis এর নিচেও একই প্যাটার্ন থাকবে। যদি আমার গ্রাফটা এভাবে হতো, সে এরকম থাকতো, in that case x-axis এর symmetry হওয়ার জন্য আরেকটা পার্ট এরকম আসতো, নিচে আসতো। So here the point is minus x comma y. So here the point is gonna be minus x comma minus y. So as you see, the x is always fixed here for x-axis symmetry, but the y is changing. So y যদি positive থাকে, তাহলে এখানে y টা negative হয়ে যাবে. So we can say that to find the x-axis symmetry, we replace y by minus y. এখন আমি তোমাকে একটা ইকুয়েশন দিলাম, আমি বললাম যে x equal to y স্কয়ার, এটা সিমেট্রি টেস্ট করব। তখন তুমি যেটা করবা, x অ্যাক্সিসের সিমেট্রি টেস্ট করার জন্য এই যে গিভেন ইকুয়েশনটাতে y কে মাইনাস y তে রিপ্লেস করবা, মানে হচ্ছে y এর জায়গায় মাইনাস y সাবস্টিটিউট করবা। করার পরে কিছু সিম্পলিফিকেশন করলে আমরা যদি আমাদের যে গিভেন ইকুয়েশনটা ছিল সেটাই যদি রিটার্ন পাই, then you can say yes, this equation is symmetric about x axis. যদি না পাই আমরা তখন অন্যান্য টেস্টগুলো দেখব। So that's how we find the x axis symmetry. Then I said that x equal to y square, this one we can rewrite as y equal to plus minus root x. এবার আমি যদি এটাকে ড্র করতে চাই, like we already know the concepts of symmetry, x-axis symmetry and intercept. So এটার intercept কি হবে? এটার x intercept 0 0 0, y intercept 0 0. So আমাদের only একটা intercept আছে, which is 0 0. Now আমি positive point pick করলাম, like x এর value 1 1 বসালে y 1, x এর value 4 বসালে y হচ্ছে 2. But now since I know the graph is gonna be symmetric about x-axis, so I keep my x values same, but the y values I just change with minus sign, and then if I just join them, then we will be able to draw the graph. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. So what about y-axis symmetry? So
X
for
will
y,
be negative.
Replaces by
Exactly.
minus x.
exactly. So if we have any point x comma y, y is gonna be same because y তো চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে না, y তো যা ছিল তাই থাকবে। যদি y এর আমি মিরর পেতে চাই, মানে মিরর ইমেজ পেতে চাই, তাহলে the only thing will be changed here, x is gonna be replaced by minus x. So we are gonna replace x by minus x. So for example, আমরা যদি say a same problem পাই, x equal to y square, if you wanna check the y-axis symmetry, so it's gonna be minus x equal to y square, which is gonna be x equal to minus y square, and that's not same as the given equation. So we can say this function or this equation x equal to y square is not symmetric about y-axis. But if we pick another example, say y equal to x square, the y equal to x square আমরা pick করি, then we replace x by minus x here.
Minus x. Yes, ma'am.
It's gonna be y equal to minus x whole square. So we get y equal to x square back. So as we can see is the original one. So I can say yes, this one is symmetric about y-axis. So that's how we check the symmetry. Now remember I told you that I want to show the how you can draw the graph of y equal to x square later. Now we see by using the concept of intercepts and symmetry, how can we draw it easily? So what are the intercepts? Y equal to x square intercept কি হবে বলো?
0 0.
Yes, it's just 0 0. So দেখো only 0 0 দিয়ে কিন্তু আমরা করতে পারছি না, we need more point. But we also got the information that it is gonna be symmetric about y-axis. So if we just keep positive point, like say I take 1, so x equal to 1, y is gonna be 1. X equal to 2, y is gonna be 4. So 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 4. I know it's symmetric about y-axis, so I can also pick the point minus 1 comma 1.
Minus 2 comma 4.
Exactly. Then we just join it. Sorry, I forgot to put it. It's gonna be minus 2 comma 4. Exactly. And you see how easy now to draw the graph of it.
Yes, ma'am.
That you just need to calculate 2 points, but the rest of them you know by symmetry. The last one is origin. Let's pick another column. So for this one, we have the coordinates origin কে যদি আমাকে mirror করতে হয়, so if we have any point x, y here,
Ma'am,
so এটাকে mirror, হ্যাঁ বলো,
what is mean by origin?
এই যে পয়েন্টটা 0 0 0 0 is the origin. So a 0 0 point, like it has 4 sides. This is side 1. Remember, this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant.
Fourth quadrant.
So if we have any point x, y in the first quadrant, and if it becomes symmetric about origin, then we need to have the point in the third quadrant. And the point is gonna be minus x minus y. Remember, in third quadrant, x and y both there. So if we have any point in the second quadrant, say minus x, y, then original symmetry হওয়ার জন্য same point এখানে থাকতে হবে,
Positive x, negative y.
minus
instead
positive x minus y.
x, minus y. So you see the connection that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
need to replace x by minus x and replace y by minus y. এখন আমাদের দুটাই করতে হবে। So আমরা তাহলে one by one দেখে ফেলি very first. So let's see. The first one we started with x equal to y square. This is the first one. So এটাকে original symmetry হবে? Is it going to be symmetric about origin? Let's see. We replace x by minus x and y by minus y. And we're gonna get minus x equal to y square
Y square x
or x equal to minus y square. So it is symmetric from it?
No, ma'am.
no ma'am.
No. So this is not symmetric about origin. Second one we did y equal to x square. Is this gonna be symmetric or no? So we replace y by minus
Y
y.
with minus y, x with minus x.
So we will have y equals
It's not going
square.
to be symmetric.
X are going to be either. So this is not either. So none of them is symmetric about. So let's pick another example. Third one, y equal to x. One, if we replace y by minus y and x by minus x, now let's see the magic.
Minus y equals minus x.
Minus x. This will be
This will be symmetric.
So this is symmetric about origin.
Origin.
Now let's draw the graph of it. Look how easy now it is. আচ্ছা এটা ইন্টারসেপ্ট কি হবে বলো, y equal to x কিউবের?
0 0. Ma'am,
Zero.
question টা আবার বলবেন?
0 0 ma'am.
I mean intercept, what's the intercept? That's why I
0
asked.
0.
0 0.
0 0.
Now let's pick x equal to 1, so y is gonna be 1. X equal to 2, y is gonna be 8.
8.
And we know this is gonna be symmetric about origin. So in the third quadrant, we are gonna also have
Minus 1, minus
Exactly.
1, and minus 2, comma minus 8.
exactly minus 1, minus 1, and minus 2, minus 8. And that's it. See, we don't need to calculate anymore. We just know these two points and also the intercepts, and life becomes easier. So that is the summary of intercepts. And oh my god, sorry. This is the symmetry. Sorry, it's a summary of symmetry. Sorry. And I think we are almost done. So I'm not repeating it again. I mean, exactly whatever I said is written here. We have one example test for the symmetry for this function. So whenever I ask you find intercepts, you have to find x and y both intercepts. Whenever I ask you that I give you this function and test the symmetry, you have to basically check 3 of the symmetry: x-axis, y-axis, and origin.
Origin.
So for this one, if you want to check x-axis symmetry, replace y by minus y and see this is not equivalent to the given one. So It's not going to be symmetric about x-axis. For y, replace x by minus x, and you will see this is going to be equivalent. So it's going to be symmetric about y-axis because we have minus x squared, so it's going to be plus. For origin, it takes y by minus y, and you see we have an extra, like if we do the simplification, we will have extra minus there. So it's not equivalent to given equation either. That's it. You don't need to draw the graph of this equation now, because for now we are good with simple graph. But then when we learn rational function, then I'm going to show it to you how to draw it. For now, you don't need to draw it. I showed it to you already how to draw the graph for y equal to x cube, how to draw the graph for x equal to y square. But here is one point, like if I say x equal to y square and y is greater than equal to 0, remember y is 0 only when it's above x-axis. So that's why we just have this part of the graph. So this one is the graph for y equal to plus minus root x, for x equal to y square. This one is x equal to y square, but y is greater than equal to 0, and x equal to y square, y is less than equal to 0. For this one, the graph looks like this, because we know y is less than 0 when it is below x-axis. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I told you that I'm gonna draw the graph of this function after we learn the symmetry. So remember this function we were trying to draw? We found the intercepts, and then we didn't know that what should we do. Like it looks like a triangle. So now if we check the symmetry, y equal to x square minus 4. Can you do it quickly with me, please? Is it symmetric about x-axis? Remember, x-axis symmetry change করার জন্য y is going to be replaced by minus y. So it's going to be minus y equal to x square minus 4. Then y is going to be minus of x square minus 4. Is it equivalent to the original equation?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Is it not symmetric about x-axis?
No, ma'am.
Okay, what about y-axis?
Yes, ma'am. It will be equivalent to
Y-axis.
Yes.
It's not symmetric about origin either, because we're going to have minus here and this is going to be plus, so it's not going to be symmetric about origin either. So we know it's going to be symmetric about y-axis. তাহলে আগের মতোই let's pick 2 points. So say if we pick x equal to 1, if x equal to 1 হয় তাহলে y কি হবে from this equation?
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
What about x equal to 3?
5.
5.
So let's just put them here. So 1 minus 3 is somewhere here, and 3 comma 5 is somewhere here. So let's just draw peripherally part of. So now the point is here 1 comma minus 3, and here is 3 comma 5. So since it's symmetric about y-axis, we're gonna have the point here, which is minus 1 comma minus 3.
Comma minus 3.
We're gonna have another point here.
Minus 3, comma 5.
Minus 3.
Minus
and
3,
minus
5.
Exactly.
Minus 3, comma 5.
The point is here. So minus 3 comma 5. See, and like we don't need to have bunch of points to draw the graph. We just know intercept. We know that this is symmetric about y-axis, so we just pick 2 points, and then the other 2 we could just guess it from there. That's how intercepts and symmetry help us to draw graph easily. And the last thing, this is the last part of the lecture. Remember I told you at the beginning that we might have the function which does not have any intercepts.
Yes.
And let's see quickly. Say if I give you equation like y equal to 1 by x, and you will see it doesn't have an intercept because for x intercept, if you put y equal to 0, you are gonna have 1 by x equal to 0. That means 1 equal to 0, which is not true. So x intercept not available or not applicable. Similarly for y intercept, you put x equal to 0, so you are gonna have y equal to 1 by 0, which is undefined. So no y intercept. So now if I ask you to draw the graph of it, you know that the graph of the equation will never touch or cross coordinate axis. If কখনোই coordinate axis টা touch or cross করবে না. Then the next thing you are gonna see symmetry. দেখো এটা টেস্ট করা খুবই ইজি. So for x axis you replace y by minus y. So এটা কখনোই x axis symmetry হবে না. কারণ এখানে যদি আমি minus y দেই, কখনোই আমি অরিজিনাল ফাংশন ব্যাক পাবো না. If I do y-axis symmetry, I replace x by minus x, we're gonna have extra minus. So it's not gonna be symmetric with respect to y-axis. Will it be symmetric about origin?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
ভালো করে বলো origin symmetry হবে কিনা ভালো করে দেখো.
No, ma'am. হবে না।
No. For origin we
Because
replace
0.
Because it's a reciprocal.
Oh, -1 দিব.
এটা তো replace y by minus y and x by minus x.
Origin symmetry হবে.
Exactly.
Origin
So
symmetry হবে।
exactly. So it's symmetric about origin.
Both will be replaced with minus. So minus will be cancelled out.
So now if I want to draw the graph of it, okay, so I pick the point x and y. So I know I cannot put x equal to 0. So I say I pick x equal to 1. So y is going to be 1. What about x equal to 4? What should be y? 1 by 4, yeah. Okay, what about x equal to half? Y কি হবে?
Y equal to
2.
No.
What? And for x equal to 1 by 4, y is going to be 4. Now হচ্ছে just plot করি এটা. So say this is 1, 1. 4, 1 by 4 is somewhere here. যদি 2 বসাতাম হতো 1 by 2 somewhere here. Half for half is gonna be 2. So say it's here. And for 1 by 4 it's 4. So see here. So you see, if I just draw it, it's gonna look like this.
That does not have any interception.
Exactly. So এটা কখনোই কেউ যদি ভুল হয়ে এটা টাচ করে ফেলো কোঅর্ডিনেট অ্যাক্সিসকে, you guys are gonna get 0 because it cannot touch or cross coordinate axis. So 1, 1, 2, half, 4, 1 by 4, and this one is 1 by 4, 4.
4.
And we have said this is symmetric about origin. So we are going to have all of these points but with negative sign. So we will have minus 1, 1. Then we will have
half.
minus 2, minus half.
Minus 4.
And
minus 4, minus 1.4.
actually it's going to look like this. So we say we saved bunch of points to calculate. আমাদের এতগুলো পয়েন্টটা ক্যালকুলেট করা দরকার. So that's it. Always remember to put the coordinates. এই coordinate like point গুলোকে অ্যাড্রেস করতে হবে, arrow sign দিতে হবে, and কোনটা x axis তুমি represent করছো and কোনটা y axis represent করছো. That's very important to mark down. এই জিনিসগুলো কিন্তু গ্রাফ ড্র করার সময় মনে রাখতে হবে. And that's how we end the class. Okay, এখানে কিছু আছে like exercises, and you guys, I would say you guys please solve it, please. You have to find the intercept, so both x and y, and you have to test a symmetry. For the third one, you really don't need to draw the graph of it now, as I said before. We are gonna draw it later. There is another exercise here that if 3, b is a point on the graph of this one, then what is b? বলতে পারো? 3, yeah.
Is a point of graph.
9.
Y.
13.
Yes, 13.
13, man.
Exactly. Because y equal to b and x equal to 3. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1.
Plus 1 is 13.
Exactly.
Is study.
That's it. So as a recap, what we have seen, I would recommend you to go through the lecture. It's quite kind of new to you, but it's not that difficult. So we have seen why graph is important. We have seen how you can check a point lies on the graph of the equation or not. Then we have seen typical way to draw the graph of it. But we said no, it's not sufficient. We want to reduce the time because we are smart. And that's why we introduced 2 concepts, which is intercepts and symmetry. To find x-intercept, we put y equal to 0 in the equation and solve for x. And to find y-intercept, we put x equal to 0 in the equation and solve for y. We have seen bunch of examples. Then we have seen also symmetry test. There are 3 types of symmetry: x-axis, y-axis, and origin. For x-axis symmetry, you replace y by minus y. For y-axis symmetry, you replace x by minus x. And for origin, you replace both of them, x by minus x and y by minus y. And if you do it, you are gonna be able to see whether your function is symmetric about coordinate axis or origin. And then we have seen some example that tells us that how effective this symmetry, the concept of symmetry and intercept for us to draw the graph of equation. And I think we should stop. So please